Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Welcome to our shared delusion, because that's what the Joker sequel title means. Hey everybody, what's going on? We've got a show. Just a show. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things we've been watching, as we always do. We are going to talk about the Joker sequel trailer that I believe was this week. Did that drop, or are we just way behind? I think it was this week.
I was today years old, so...
No, I'm going to guess it was this week, because there's articles about trailer launches to 167 million views in 24 hours, and that article's from today, so...
Yeah.
There's a few other news stories I'd like to cover. But first, how are you two doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
I'm gonna drop that from the. That's become part of the format, and I'm on the fence about whether like the sudden energy bomb when I stop to ask you guys how you're doing, if that's funny or if that's just sucking the show down and like sucking the energy.
Oh no, that's not the thing that's sucking this show down.
Okay, fine. It's me.
No, come on, no, that's not what I was thinking.
It's the show. The show is sucking
It's just this
itself.
show. Oh boy. Grawlix that, come on. Be careful.
We are definitely prone to I can't think of a good term for it, to that kind of behavior. We're very self-referential is what I'm talking about. We are all up our own butts. The Grawlix podcast. We're up our own butts.
Yeah. Don't you want to be there too? Woo!
Join us in our butt. Stop it! What is this ridiculousness?
Oh my goodness.
It's so juvenile. I get younger the older I get, I feel like.
Oh yeah. You should just care less. You go back to not caring.
Right. That's got to be what it is. Okay. I keep looking over here like it's going to save me. It's not. There's nothing over here. Yeah. Hey, everybody. We're back doing another show. Is this the AI-generated episode that I promised like a month ago? No, it's not, because I did not announce anything unless it's done and ready to go. I just haven't... Man, they're like, well, a lazy AI. Everybody just wants to make AI things and be lazy. I'm like... Try making something with something of substance with AI. It's not lazy. It's a time suck. At least right now. I think with AI, like the idea is sometime it's going to make everything so much easier. But right now the technology is like not user friendly. I'm getting beeps. Not user friendly. It's okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I was with talking about that. It's a time suck. Like it's like there's quite a learning curve.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, and like even the thing that I have claimed about AI, like ChatGPT is better than Google in some regards, because it just gives you the answer you're actually looking for instead of having to dig through all the search results that you get, right? Mm-hmm. But also, it's about 2 or 3 years behind. So if you want something current or relevant to now, you have to be careful, because some of that information that you're going to get is going to be old news.
And some of it's just straight up lies.
Yeah.
It's more limited in what you can do with it, but I found Bing, Microsoft's Copilot or whatever it is, I've used that a couple times, and it's to hit or miss success, but it's interesting because it will pull from current web information.
Oh.
I don't know that it's necessarily trained, so it doesn't necessarily have like everything instantly like a Chat GPT might. on current stuff, but it's got to be trained on something. Like it's got I don't know. It'll pull up the actual website links for you that it pulls information from. That's super useful because then at least you can like double check. Is this thing hallucinating at me and giving me wrong information, or is the information out of date? Like that's super useful. But you know, it's not necessarily the kind of thing where it's gonna like D&D your session for you or something. So
Curses.
right.
Which ones?
All the curses.
All the ones that would require a Grawlix if it were
That's
in a
right.
family-friendly comic book.
That's
Yep.
exactly right.
So, hey guys, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? What have you been consuming? Watching anything? Reading anything? Consuming. I always say consuming. Eating anything interesting? Burning things
We did
for
like a
fuel?
tofu thing. We did like air fried tofu tonight, and that was
Oh,
like,
we're really doing it.
Yeah.
Air fried tofu.
yeah, it was almost had like a bacony something
Weird.
flavor to it. Yeah.
Is Holly? Is she straight up vegan or vegetarian? Like, is it-
No, not anymore. No, she was vegetarian for a while.
Oh, neither. She's like, you know what?
No,
I'm
well,
gonna eat the
I mean-
small animals.
No.
No,
You know.
She did it for a long time though, didn't
Yeah.
she?
Oh, yeah,
I applaud
yeah,
her
yeah.
for that.
There was it was like a health thing where it's like it just
Right.
it's really hard to be a vegetarian. So
Yeah.
that was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have like any experience with it myself, so seeing like the various like supplements you have to take to replace that stuff with meat, or that you don't get from me, the proteins or whatever it is, I was like, whoa, that's like an aspect I hadn't even considered.
Yeah.
I think that we should not be vegan, but I think that we should, we shouldn't have farms, and instead, if you want to eat meat, you should have to go kill it yourself and look it in the eye and like feel it, you know, so you respect it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you.
That's interesting. So I don't think that's going to work on a mass scale. However, I think you've invented a new business that's a combination butcher yard petting zoo. In order to buy your meat, you have to go watch it, stare at it in its eyes, maybe even the little. They don't use the air gun anymore. Do it. They're going to start again, and you have to do it.
Oh no!
Can't do it?
God!
Can't do
Awful.
it. No meat for you.
Oh no! Well, or this might be a little less traumatic than firing the hammer itself, but like 4-H kids, you know, like force everyone to be like a 4-H kid and like raise a calf, and then the big prize of raising your calf is, well, you don't get to keep that calf anymore. Someone else is gonna buy it. Your
Like,
purple
you're gonna
ribbon
raise this up,
calf.
and then you
Yeah.
get some steak. And so,
Yeah.
man,
Wait,
I have,
you're literally a stakeholder in that.
yeah. I had raised a little piggy that was the runt, and I brought him home and we bottle fed him for a while, and then he went back to the farm, and then I was like, I want to visit him, and they were like, oh, he's already bacon. I'm like, oh gosh. And I mean, I know that was his intended purpose, but it was
Right.
still so sad.
Right. Well, we don't have any viewers right now, but so we don't have to worry about scaring them off. Okay.
Well, that's a mistake on their end.
We had Runza today. That's been my Thursday ritual, apparently. That's what I did last week too. Now we got a viewer. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump in and say we don't have to go too much into it, but we finished the current season of Invincible. Not Incredibles.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Every single time. She's like, let's watch Incredibles. And I like Invincible.
Was it Mr. Incredible got dark?
Yeah. He would be Omni-Man, wouldn't he? If you
Yeah.
just transferred that over. That's so funny.
Jack, no!
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's following the comic as far as I remember. It's been a long time since I read the beginning, but it's following it pretty closely. Yeah, like I feel there might be minor changes here or there, but it's pretty close, which means it's pretty good and occasionally very sad.
Oh yeah.
There was one change that I know you appreciated while we were watching it, because in the comic, they go to Comic-Con and they talk about how lazy comic writers will use the same picture over and over. Except in this
The same
one,
panel.
they were talking about how lazy animators will
Frame
you know,
it so
do
you
this.
can't see their mouths when they're talking or the back of their head. Yeah, they did the same exact joke. They even segued it through that Seance Dog or whatever comic that Mark's a fan of. And he goes to Comic-Con and has the writer or whoever, the artist, the creator of the comic, sign it, and they're having a discussion. And I did appreciate that in the comic they had a very comic book meta discussion that's very funny, talking about reusing panels, and it's just like the same panel, exact copy panel of the guy, you know, whatever. But then for the animation one, it was all very meta animation production jokes, and that was great. Yeah, it's perfect. I like that they could transfer mediums and still like segue into very similar meta jokes the exact same way.
Well, when all the comics are being made into, you know, animations, it's not hard.
It's true. But
That's
yeah,
a good
I don't know.
segue for me, because one of
Yeah.
the things that I've been watching is X-Men 97, and yeah, it's definitely been designed. You know, like the original was definitely designed for kids, and this is definitely designed for a little bit more adult kids who remembered the original series, because they went straight up Genosha in
Oh,
the most
really?
recent episodes. Yeah, and if
Oh,
you know
wow.
anything about Genosha, that doesn't end well. And guess what? The end of that last episode that I watched didn't end well. At least not for our heroes.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering how. Yeah, I need to catch up for sure. I was wondering how dark they were going to go with it, because it definitely seemed like the first couple episodes was a bit more adult, but not like. Did you ever see like Ren and Stimpy came back at a certain point for like Spike Channel or whatever?
No, I didn't watch that run.
And they went straight up like nudity, whatever, adult. They're just like, the people who liked us are adult now. We're just going to go straight adult. And it was a little weird,
Yeah.
especially when we had like kids over and Melanie's like, yeah, we'll watch Ren and Stimpy. I was like, don't watch that one. Why? It's Ren and Stimpy. I was like, don't watch that one. Don't put that one on. But from what I saw, they didn't quite go that level. It's not like, I don't know. It kind of seemed like a natural. I don't know. They didn't go quite that extreme. But then again, I don't know. I haven't seen the most recent stuff. Maybe they're never mind. I was gonna say something real dark.
So they didn't go full South Park or full Rick and Morty.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But my favorite episodes of Ren and Stimpy, I think, were not necessarily dark, but like the Happy Helmet one, and the one with the big red button, you know. And those are like, yeah, some of the.
Oh yeah, they're dark, but they're like Mad Magazine / a middle school humor dark.
Yeah.
It's psychodrama. That's where I've heard that term. I don't know if it was coined there, but I think that term comes from how the network would like those kind of episodes. I don't think the network really liked, because they called them psychodramas. They're like, that's too weird and extreme and abrasive for children. So they kind of had to fight for those. But I was like, psychodramas, that's the best. And I was even like referencing that I think this week when I was.
That sounds like Twin Peaks to me, not like Ren and Stimpy.
If you think about it, though, it's funny, but it's like it's so overly dramatic. Like where they're like bashing their head against the wall or like just screaming, like just going space madness, just literally going crazy.
Space madness.
It's such a heightened drama. It's so like overly dramatic that for me, psychodrama fit perfect. And I feel like sometimes It's Always Sunny goes into that territory too.
Yeah, I would say that too. So he started blasting him.
I just want to feel clean, or I just want to be pure. Like, it's so good sometimes. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of anything that goes full psychodrama. How did we get to Ren and Oh, X-Men 97.
X-Men, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not nobody cares, but I'm telling you anyway. We have little Ren and Stimpy dolls, and then I found a teeny tiny little box with a little teeny tiny Ren that's like a toy sized of that little one that we have. So he has a little toy of himself in a box next to him, and it's the most adorable thing ever.
Seriously a tiny toy in a box. Like, the box itself it's toy in box, but the box itself is a tiny part of it. That's
So funny.
very interesting. What else? Let's see, X-Men 97. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, new Star Trek Discovery is out. I've been watching that. The new one dropped tonight. We were actually watching that before the stream. I just got the cold open.
What season are they up to with that?
Is this season 5 or 6? I want to say 5, season 5 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is supposed to be their last season, so. But they're talking about some spin-offs, so the universe won't necessarily be dead.
Speaking of spinoff, I don't want to totally segue into news yet, but I don't have the article pulled up, but I did see that the You Know Nothing Jon Snow, the Jon Snow Game of Thrones spinoff that was supposed to be in the works for ages, apparently it's just not, it's not in the works anymore.
No way about it.
No.
There's just no way.
Snoped. Stupid.
Sometimes a really bad pun is just worth it.
I was gonna say, while I forgot that X-Men 97 existed and didn't catch up on that, and there's other shows, I did, however, binge through the entirety of last weekend Ripley on Netflix, which is the new adaptation of The Talented Mr. Ripley. It's like 8 episodes, and it's definitely not for everybody, but I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot that I kind of want to force it on Melanie and watch it again, but I don't know if she's really, I don't think she's taken to it.
It's okay, but we have like other shows that we start that we don't finish, and I don't like doing that.
Yeah, but I gotta follow, baby. I gotta follow my muse. I gotta follow my muse, baby.
I'm your muse, damn it.
I tried to get Holly to try Mythic Quest on Apple TV, and it's basically like, it's even that one actor from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like, what if that guy was in charge of Blizzard or something, like World of Warcraft kind of thing. It's like they've got a new patch or whatever, and like the big thing is this shovel, and it just lampoons the whole industry and how like the industry is almost like beholden to these prepubescent YouTubers now. So they've got like a gamer YouTuber called Pootie Shoe. It's so ridiculous, and I think that was a bridge too far for Holly. It was like, no, especially when it came to Pootie Shoe.
That's weird. One of the other people from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Ryan Reynolds, was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's that guy. It's the same
Oh, it's that guy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you already know about it then?
The Wrexham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
What does he like to get into strange experiments?
I don't know.
We've also occasionally, I've only watched like 3 episodes. I think Melanie's watched 2. But there's a show from 2018 called The Mick on Netflix. It's a like half-hour comedy starring, her name escapes me, but it's Deandra. It's Dee from It's Always Sunny. I mean, and for the most part, it might as well be the same character.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It feels more traditionally sitcom-y. It's basically like, picture kind of Sweet D, that type of character. But her sister had married some rich guy, so her sister and her sister's kids, they all live in a mansion. They're super rich, and then her sister and her husband flee the country because of some tax or a fraud thing. So then, God, I can't believe I forgot. I don't know her name offhand. We'll say D. Has to watch the kids. These three spoiled rich kids. So it, wacky hijinks ensue. It's very sitcom-y in its setup, but
Right.
she's great. So it's entertaining.
Well, it's like in Star Trek Discovery, they have Tig Notaro. She was in that one. She was that last minute addition to the Zack Snyder zombie Vegas flick or whatever. Army of the Dead, is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Dead Army or something like that.
Yeah, the pilot chick.
Yeah, she's in there, and it's basically like she just plays Tig Notaro. But, it's like, that's delightful. So.
Yeah, I think she was one of my favorite characters of that show.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was one of the best parts of that movie, and she was literally like comped into every shot she was in, and never even talked to any of the other actors.
That's crazy.
I can't remember who it was even that they replaced. Doesn't matter. Jumping back real quick, I just wanted to say Ripley, super interesting. If all black and white, gorgeous photography, is amazing, super well done. Slow burn, so it's not necessarily going to be for everybody, but it's a recommend from me. I logged it on Letterboxd, and I only do that with series that I like and that I can binge through quickly, like Blue-Eyed Samurai and stuff like that. Was there anything else? Oh, I watched a movie, kind of. I watched a docu. I watched a bunch of stuff, apparently.
You must do it all when I'm sleeping, because I don't watch half this stuff.
I do while you're sleeping, or like during the weekend when you're gone. Because if I'm not working or doing internet things, like, okay, I'm gonna watch TV, I guess. So that's what I do. You almost went Marge. We haven't talked about Body Problem yet, because that's one of the shows that I have not gone back to, and Melanie's on me to go back to it. We're going to go back to it. Chicago Faucet says, let's see, asked about Body Problem. They didn't get the first, they didn't get, they didn't get past the first episode. Oh, okay, well, we're right there with you. We're going to keep watching. Yeah, too reminiscent of
I didn't watch
Lost.
Lost, so I don't know.
That show was a train wreck at a certain point. It was one of those where it's like it went too long, and there was like a whole seasons where it's like, what is even going on now?
Oh, I thought that was one of the ones that like the writers had a strike or something, and then it went to crap.
I think that had something to do with it, but like I think they just didn't know what they were doing, and then they were like, we want to keep making money off of this show, so we'll just keep making stuff up.
Yeah.
And then finally it was like, okay, I guess we'll end it.
It's like the Save the Cheerleader, Save the World show.
Right. Oh, they talked about that too. Well, I mean, is that one of your news items? I don't want to just jump onto that. Oh yeah, they're talking about the creator of that making another new Heroes. Didn't he already try that?
Yeah, it came back for a little bit. I didn't see that last.
Oh, was it? But it was the original, like the original characters.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me either. I was just like, yeah. No, they're talking about a new Heroes. Like, okay, we'll try it again.
Chicago Faucet is not a fan of Lindelof. Yeah, I mean, they've created some stuff like they were in charge. Lindelof and the other guy, I'm assuming, maybe they don't always work in pairs. Probably not, but they did that Watchmen HBO series, which sounded like such a terrible idea, but was actually, I thought, really good.
Right.
And most of Game of Thrones was good. But I feel like if you fumble something that people are so excited about that hard, it's going to be real hard for anybody to trust you again. And in a way, that's kind of my problem with three-body problem, I don't trust Netflix. Because that is not a one and... I'm assuming that is not a one-and-done series. It's a mystery series. And I already went through that with $18.99. That show was great. Kind of like...
They just put it in the Archive 81.
Archive 81 show was great. Clearly going to continue. Canceled one season. You can't trust Netflix. They suck in that respect. Like, I mentioned Ripley. I didn't know if it was going to be a one and done, and they could potentially go on to do more books. But for the most part, first season covers the first book. It could be a one and done. I'm not concerned with the second season. I'm happy I watched it. But if it's something that's obviously like not meant to just be one season, man, it's hard to put a lot of faith in them. Oh, Lindenhoff is also why Prometheus was so disjointed. Right. Lindenhoff and I can't remember the other guy's name. They wrote one of the better episodes of It's Always Sunny. I just discovered that last week. I can't remember which episode off the top of my head though. But yeah.
A Small, Small World.
Which one was it? What a small, small Hollywood. That's kind of the problem with like, and from a business standpoint, I get it, but where somebody makes something, where everybody they bring on to do projects has to like have had so much, whatever. The more established success you have, the more work you're going to get. And I guess that makes sense, but then that just leads to like the same people on all the same projects that come out. Or, like nobody wants to invest money on tested people. I don't know. I guess I can't complain about that because that makes sense, but it kind of sucks when you're not getting new voices.
It's not just that. It's that and like the buddy system. Like, I love, what's his name that did Dr. Sleep? But...
Mike Flanagan.
But he uses the same actors all the time. There's so many people in the world that want to be actors and or just, I guess everybody's actors now. Give them a shot. Stop using the same people over and over and over.
But I love Ewan McGregor.
And it's nice to see Elliot get some work, but he doesn't, have to get
Elliot. All of it. Elliot's the one he's worked with the most, which is fascinating to me. And I'm really hoping to see Mark Hamill pop up in more Flanagan stuff since he was in that last one. The House of Usher or whatever. I'm excited for some of the Amazon-produced Flanagan stuff to come out. I just want some more Flanagan. How did we get on this?
I don't know.
Because,
I think it had to do with Heroes.
Yeah, we're just working with the same people, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
When
talking
they
about
mentioned...
Go ahead.
Chicago Fawcett mentions
Yeah.
Hayden Panettiere, or however you say her name, the cheerleader, right?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently she's had a rough go of things the last 20 years, and that just blows my mind that show's over 20 years old. Crying out loud. Yeah, but apparently she's had a rough go of it with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, that sucks. So the last thing I remember seeing her connected with was that video game. She was that like horror video game, and even that's pretty old at this point, where it was very kind of story-driven type of. I don't know if it was like a slasher type thing. I never played it, but she was her and that Remy, Mr. Robot, Queen guy. I can't remember anybody's names. Anyway, it's one of those video games.
They do
it's one
things.
Of those video
whatever.
games where they got like the likenesses and voices of several somewhat known actors. So that's the last thing I seen her involved with.
If you're like under 30, they should just be like, you know what? You're going to be in a movie. We're going to get you a reservation in rehab and a therapist. Okay?
Just by default?
Yeah.
that should be part of your SAG-AFTRA Foundation membership right there. Is just a therapist.
Oh wait, you were a child star? Oh no. You should be through that patch by now. If not, sorry. You're probably not working anymore.
Do you have a sex tape yet? Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
It could be a boon or a minus. It just depends.
Right. How can we spin this?
Right. Oh, you've had nudes leaked. Well, that's everyone.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Or photos were leaked from your phone. That's just a Tuesday.
Me too.
oh my.
Not to make just to be clear, not to make light.
No,
of
not
this,
that. That's okay. No,
not that that's
it's
fine.
no.
We're just talking, Hollywood things.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that one time wasn't like half of Hollywood's phones downloaded by some hackers or something, and then
Yeah.
just put on the internet.
Do we have to Grawlix the name of that thing?
Oh, I remember what it is.
Well, it was kind of some kind of happening almost, but not quite.
But a much bigger deal than the actual movie, The Happening.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What? No. Yeah, Kurt Russell is. There's a few. Like Ryan
Jodie Foster.
Gosling was.
Yeah.
And he.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's a few of them.
Right. Russell is. I mean, of course, he's a good early example because he's still relevant, even though he's getting up there. He still pops up in things from every now and then. Mm-hmm. Younger generations, I think, are aware of Kurt Russell.
But he's got to be about done now, right? I mean, once you get cast as Santa Claus, you're over. Ask Tim Allen.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
What if you're in Silent Night though? I don't want that guy to be done. He just became famous.
Or you mean Violent Night? Yeah, David Harbour.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but with him it's different because that's acting, sucker.
He went to Juilliard.
Well, hey, let's talk about a little bit of news since we're here.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the trailer we watched. We watched the Joker trailer. The Joker Folie Du.
It's all about names we don't remember and then words we can't pronounce.
Yeah, that's about I feel like I'm doing tomorrow's metal show already.
Oh boy, yeah.
I'm so bad at. Why am I hosting things? I'm so bad at it.
Because all of
I've
your
been doing
metal
it for
is
over
from
10 years. What am I doing?
Foreign countries, man. You just what genre could be more foreign?
Not just metal,
Yeah,
death metal and black metal. Black metal. They never have weird names.
the most foreign names we can come up with. Oh, even if they aren't foreign, we're let's make the name of our band foreign. Let's give ourselves foreign personas. Where are you from? Florida.
Florida. but call me Corpse Grinder Dine Choice. Thanks. Cool.
Oh man, I feel like you just ethnicity smashed 5 countries there.
That was the point.
There was definitely some German inflection, but I don't think the words you said were German at all.
I tried to make sure they weren't.
All right.
German I could do. It's the French, man. France and French Canadian. There's quite a few metal bands out of those areas, and man, they screw me up real bad because I cannot do the French.
Really? I would think there'd be more like Norway and Iceland and stuff.
Oh no, there's that too, and those are just I don't even understand the characters of those.
That's my people.
Oh, your people. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, Chicago Faucet, thank you for keeping us on track because we should get back to what we were actually talking about. Yeah, the Joker trailer. Okay, so the title, Folie Du, which might be closer to how it's actually pronounced, I don't know, it refers to shared a shared delusion, or where several people have a near identical mental delusion or mental condition, which I think is very telling, given that the first Joker really played on the idea of like, we're basically following the story through the eyes of what's the word?
Unreliable narrator.
Thank you. Yeah. Where like, oh, that main character, that person doesn't even exist. That kind of thing. And then this, knowing what we know about this, and I think the Shutter Island situation, I think that's very possible. It's going to be Joker and Harley. It doesn't seem like they're doing she was a doctor. It seems like she's another patient in there. And also it's pretty much confirmed it's a musical. Like the movie's a straight up musical. There's like 15, 16, 18 musical numbers in it or something.
That's
so
crazy. Everything is becoming a musical. I hate it.
Right? I know. We'll get to that story too.
So should we just call this Funny Girl?
Right.
That's a great joke if you get musical theater, but okay.
Because of Harley Quinn and Joker. I get it. I was just
she's funny girl. She's a funny girl, and there's a one that's called Funny Girl, and it's.
Well, here's
I
my
thought you were
thing.
saying she looked like Barbara Streisand, and I was like, that's rude.
No, she's not. Oh no, she's not in her league. No.
I'm intrigued by this, but here's my thing. The director, the writer and director, he did the first one, and he's kind of a troll, right? The first movie was kind of a troll. I think it was intentionally. I'm still impressed that he got away with it, that the studio backed him, but it was like, how can I make a Joker movie that's pretty much the opposite of what you'd expect what you probably want a Joker movie to be, what you'd expect? It's going to be weird and gritty, and like, is it even really the Joker? Is this even, it kind of seems, by the end, you kind of get an idea of like certain realities of the movie, but I don't know. It kind of seems like it's a little bit of a troll movie. Also, the fact that it shouldn't have, but resonated so particularly strong with a certain subsect of internet losers. Not to say you're a loser.
Shots fired. Pow, pow, pow.
Listen, there's certain kinds of people with views and incels and other people, but they really took to the Joker's message. Yeah, I don't care. What you can.
Yeah, I don't care. Oh God! I hope
suddenly
it's not
somebody
Moulin
pops
Rouge.
in. What you effing deserve?
Oh goodness.
Anyway,
do we think it'll go full Baz Luhrmann? Is that what we're thinking? Because that's what's being thrown out there here.
I feel like I could be wrong, but if the writer and director, I can't remember his name offhand, is going to like keep trolling, I think he needs to do something to intentionally troll the audience that latched on to the elements that they maybe should not have taken so like to heart.
So he should offend everyone.
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that kind of what the Joker's supposed to do anyway?
I think so.
Right.
He's not supposed to be heroic, or maybe he's supposed to make you feel like he's heroic, and then he's going to spray acid in your face. I don't know. He's the bad guy. And
well,
he's supposed to make everyone feel icky.
I think we were supposed to feel bad for him in the first one, but by the end of it, like, you just can't feel bad for him at all.
It's also one of those movies where it has it's obviously has a message, but it's almost not exactly, but almost like South Park, where it's like he's screwing with both sides with like whatever view you are. You can't tell what view the movie's trying to put at you, and in the end, regardless you agree with like certain sentiments or not, you probably shouldn't agree with any of it, really. Like, you shouldn't take any of it that much to heart, because it's the Joker and he doesn't take anything seriously, and the movie has the same whatever. We don't need to get into it. Ooh, it's got a budget of 200 million. Wow. Okay.
Well, they got Lady Gaga, so
Oh, yeah. And when you got that kind of music production, like throughout, like man, you're gonna be
Right.
you got to put some sound people to work.
I was very excited for the first one because I was like, what is this out of nowhere? This looks interesting. And it was interesting. I'm not as excited for this one. It might be okay. I'll check it out. But I'm not, even if it's to be subversive, I'm just not a fan of musicals. And, but whatever.
And who really like thinks about the Joker and Harley Quinn and goes, you know what, that should be musical? Like, I don't know. This may be the first one. Who knows?
It's fine.
It's a good example of if you're gonna do it, there better be a good reason.
I can't say it's not. There's not good. I'm not gonna say there's not good musicals or that there's not been musical things that have been done well. I can't think of one offhand, but it's not a genre that I get particularly excited about. And even the Buffy episode, it's okay. I like the one where there's no talking better, which it sounds like me jabbing the show, but that's not the case. That one just was more memorable to me.
Right.
Except
At
I think
least-
the musical.
At least the musical one lampooned itself. Like it was taking a shot at the genre, whereas a lot of these other ones are like, I don't know, a little bit
and
more.
it is, I will use that episode as a defense though, as like, I like that there is an in-world reason for it to be a musical, whereas the show's generally not a musical. So every long-running show eventually does the musical episode. Even It's Always Sunny did not the Nightman Cometh, because that was a musical in the show, but like they did the gang turns black or the gang is black or something, where it's a musical, and they played it meta too, where they're like, why? What's the rules of this? Why is this happening? But it was still just kind of a musical out of nowhere for no real reason. And that bugs me.
Where did this all start? I feel like it started with the Buffy musical episode. And then everybody's like, oh, you know what? We can do this.
Maybe.
I think too many people watched Tiny Toons and Animaniacs and stuff like that, and were like, yeah, I want to sing. And then Glee happened, and then everything went to crap.
Right. Everything.
Yeah. That's how we got COVID.
What year did Glee? Hold on, I'm hatching a conspiracy theory. What year did Glee premiere? Okay, never mind. 2009. That's way after 9/11. I can't connect it to that. Okay, so
Or can we?
was it September even?
Maybe it was.
Okay, no. Well, I'm not gonna follow that line of thinking anymore. I noticed in the trailer for this Joker that him and Harley seem to make passes that mimic, or poses that mimic some of the more popular fan art out there. Okay, interesting. I could see that. Sure. It is interesting. Like I'm curious as to what this James Gunn led the new DC universe will be like, where it's all, the interconnected stuff. But I did like the idea of like Joker's over here doing its own thing. Then you got the Batman. It's awesome, doing its own thing. They're not necessarily connected. They shouldn't be connected. Just that's fine. I liked that because they were giving the properties to people who had interesting visions for it, and not being overly concerned with fitting them into a larger product to sell,
Right.
But, whatever.
Maybe. Oh, sorry. I was going to say maybe this one is a musical because it's in Harley's head, and
Oh, yeah.
That's super interesting. That's very interesting.
So maybe she's the unreliable narrator this time.
yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. It definitely has a look to it. Like the first movie did, and this one seems to be like taking that idea and then doubling down on it. Like you get to see a scene from a bird's eye view, and you see the like super colorful umbrellas that are all kind of like Joker colors. I want to say, maybe not, but like I don't know. There's some cool visuals that they're playing with, and so yeah, I will probably have to see this eventually. And that's how I felt about the first one. Was eventually I'll get to it.
And think about like the iconic image. What's the iconic scene really? Like the most iconic, and I'm not talking about the like you get what you effing deserve scene. The most iconic scene from the first one was the dancing down the stairs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, let's just do that movie. That dancing down the stairs, the movie. It's all dancing.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
I feel like it might have spawned a little bit from there.
Will it be Love and Thunder? You know, we got this perfect Thor movie, right? With Taika Waititi's vision. And then we're like, you know what? Let's just let Taika Waititi do whatever he wants and go full hog ham or whatever again. And then it was not good. Like, will this be Love and Thunder?
But it was still better than the first two.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It depends. Love and Thunder, I think the biggest problem is I don't think Taika was particularly interested in doing any Thor movies. But Ragnarok, maybe he was just like, well, this is a big Marvel movie. I might as well put my all into it. Maybe he had more time to prepare. Love and Thunder just felt like a first draft to me. I liked it, but it felt like a first draft. And he was clearly like, it had been a joke on the podcast for years that the dude's got so many projects in the fire, and he did. And he probably still does. I feel like a lot of the ones we like reported, some of them didn't even ever come out. But like he had so many things going on. This feels like kind of like okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll have it in Monday.
Is he still doing a Star Wars show? Like for a while, he was going to do a Star Wars show or a movie. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Also, Chicago Fawcett said something about the song. That I don't even remember what song he's dancing down the stairs to. But when the Joker dances, he only dances to songs written by pedos. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what the song was, so I can't say. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have another piece of news. This is for Melanie.
All right.
So, Dave Bautista and Eric Nam to headline voice cast for Aang the Last Airbender animated movie at Paramount and and I almost said Nickerson, which is a town that lives by the town nearby, Nickelodeon.
So his adult years?
Yeah, it's going to be Aang, like, there's no story details out yet, but Aang probably, like, their late 20s.
Oh, okay.
Or 20 years later, or maybe 30s, I don't know. But
Should be when he starts having kids.
Dave Bautista is going to play a villain. I don't know Eric Nam, but they're, I think, Aang. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure about other people. But, yeah, so there's going to be Aang, the Last Airbender animated movie.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'll have to go back. Well, it depends on what time frame it is, because I might have to go back and watch The Legend of Korra. I only watched it the beginning, but because I want to see if they have characters, because there should be characters that are in both, timelines.
Maybe.
What?
Maybe. I mean, that's going to be after Aang was old, though, right? Assuming Aang lives to be kind of old. And this sounds like it's...
Yeah, but his kids are alive in Korra. And actually, one of the characters, I can't remember which one it is, like Toph or something, might still be alive even in Korra. So this is like, because she's like directly after them. But so like if it were the time that when his kids were born, his kids are all characters in that one. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'm assuming. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
But this is it's such a weird jump. This is going to be the first of 3 Avatar-related animated films.
Really?
They're not necessarily. There's no information on what the other ones are going to be. They're not. They could be sequels to this. They could be one-offs or some other unrelated things, but related in universe. I don't know. But yeah, Aang the Last Airbender animated movie that's going to take place after the Avatar The Last Airbender series.
Well, it took them so long to realize that they had a magical show on their hands. Dang it.
It is interesting, like... Oh, but the main thing, who knows if this stays true, is... Hold on, let me see. Lauren Montgomery, who worked on the original series, is directing the project, with the original series creators executive producing. There's also co-directors and stuff, but that's interesting because it seems like every time there's a new Avatar project, the M. Night movie, the Netflix series, the original creators initially start on board, and then at a certain point they're like, "Nah, we're out." And then like the thing comes out and people are like, "Oh, this sucks," and it's like, "Oh, well, no wonder they bailed." So they're either just difficult to work with, or they're just like, "What are you guys doing? You're ruining it." So
that's probably that. Hopefully,
so long as we don't see them exit the project, and if they're executive producing, I don't think that would be the case. It could be good.
let's hope.
Oh, and then the other bit of news was Doctor Who confirms Jinx Monsoon's villain role. They're the villain that had like the keyboard, not quite Baywatch Nights or Hasselhoff keyboard scarf, but the keyboard like a kind of outfit, and we're like, oh god, this season is going to be all musicals.
Bette Midler looking character.
Yes, yeah. There's the Bette Midler. They're confirmed as a villain named the Maestro.
Oh boy.
And they are going to be in the Beatles themed episode. So that makes me feel better in that of that trailer, there were 3 distinct scenes where I'm like, you could tell some of them were from the Beatles episode. I'm like, that's going to be a musical episode. And then you've seen this villain, and I'm like, well, that's going to be a musical episode. And then there's the guy, I don't know if he was in Hamilton. I don't know. There's a guy dancing at a ball or something, and it's like, well, that's probably going to be a musical. But at least this villain and the Beatles one are one episode, so that's potentially one less musical than I was worried about.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, anyway.
And I just want to real quick say, I said Barbara Streisand and that Bette Midler, they're completely different, and one is wonderful and the other is not my friend.
I mean, are either of them your friend, though?
Neither of them is my friend, but I like Bette Midler. I don't like Barbara Streisand.
They're the same.
They are not the same. Not at all.
Same person.
We do not know gits about musical theater.
Well, I know about Barbara Streisand's mansion on the edge of a beach that's slowly eroding.
Oh, goodness.
And I only know that because she invented the Streisand effect. When you make a big deal about it, it only draws more attention to it.
Yep.
Or at least in terms of the internet.
Bette Midler. So,
I've never heard Bette Midler like as a insult before. Like Bette Midlered, boom.
You've been Bette Midler. Melanie, you're right. Because I would probably rather be Bette Midler than Streisand.
yeah. Bette Midler, she's not the same level, but she's kind of Dolly Parton-ish. You know what I mean?
No.
But Dolly Parton is Dolly Parton, so there you go.
No one is Dolly Parton except Dolly. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The other thing is Glenn Powell. I don't know him. He's an actor. to star in The Running Man for Paramount. Edgar Wright's Running Man. So that's the whole point of that, is that's still happening. That's something that I've been bringing up on the show for like 2 years now.
His name sounds very beige. I don't like it.
He looked very
You have a beige name.
He looked very beige.
Huh.
Oh, Matty D. Oh, the drum kit in the Beatles
well, you know,
episode is
when
the
it comes
wrong
to
drum
the
kit for that time period.
Yeah,
Could
when
be
it comes to the
Tommy
60s, you know.
You're right. Matty D knows the 60s.
He knows
you
the
can't,
60s.
You can't. We're gonna have to do a special episode when that airs and have Matt on to like
Bust
So
out
Matt,
the anachronisms.
Does this? How's that episode check out? Interesting.
Well, that's not John or Paul.
The Beatles were amazing. You know what else?
That's
is
what
amazing?
people say.
Oh, look at you doing your own segue. All right.
Yep.
How-
Are you ready?
What else is amazing?
Not extinction. But surveys show that around 40% of the U.S. believes that global warming will cause human extinction, and another 55% are concerned that AI will pose a threat to our existence in the future. And those aren't really irrational fears, because both of those things are kind of, coming to fruition a little bit. But usually, they're seen by most people as a bad thing, except for a few groups. Used to be two. They were either like philosophically pessimistic people that were like, the universe would be better without people because humans are trash. Or similarly, but a little different, the environmental radicals that are like, for Earth to flourish, the humans have to be gone. And I am okay with both of those groups. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I understand their thinking. But now there is a growing third group that I don't really, I don't dislike them necessarily, but I don't agree with them. But they are, let's see, I started talking off and I lost where I was. Post-humanists. So their ideology is actually pretty widespread in Silicon Valley, and it includes people like Larry Page, Elon Musk, the heads of several robotics institutes, and they're successful, respected people, and they actually have the resources to affect change, which is why it's so scary. Because rather than working to save humanity, they're trying to lead us toward integration and eventually replacement by AI. They don't consider it necessarily extinction, though, because they're like, this is the next step in evolution. So to them, it's just, humans will be gone, but our creation will live on. So that's basically us living on, except, that humans will be gone. And that's kind of, that's kind of the thing, is that they use a lot of different verbiage. They use different words so it doesn't sound like they're kind of bringing around the apocalypse, but that's basically what they're trying to do, They have a lot of money and a lot of funding, and so to me, this one is scarier than the other two, because the other ones are just like waiting to see if the world dies. These people are kind of being like, yeah, let's work toward that. And some of them have even said things like, we should step aside and give up our resources to the next phase of evolution. And I'm like, that doesn't sound okay to me. I mean, if we all die off naturally and AI takes over, that's one thing, but I'm not gonna just climb into a grave and let them take my house. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but
so that's the thing that's happening, and it's not just that's what they want to happen. It's that's what they're working toward making happen.
That's fine.
There you go.
That's fine, because
This is fine.
they're not anywhere near there. That's the thing. Like they can say that, And they might be working towards that, figuring out an AI. But AI now, and I know it's moving very fast, it's still not anywhere near like its own life form, let alone its own life form that can then continue to sustain itself after we're gone.
Well, not yet, but Neuralink is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm worried about. It's not going to be like just an AI. It's going to be humans that are mostly robot, and that will make a big difference.
I mean, it'll be impressive if Neuralink pans out to be anything more than in a few years, if that. I fully expect it to be in the same state as Tesla is right now, and the Boring Company is, where it's just like, okay, this was a failure because you threw Elon Musk's name in there, and nothing that guy touches works out at all, except for maybe SpaceX. But
well, look at
We'll see.
Larry Page. He's one of the co-founders of Google. They have like the deep whatever think thing,
Right.
and they already have programs or whatever that they can use to make paralyzed people be able to walk. So it's already connected to our brains and controlling our bodies. We can do it already.
Cool. Listen, do I get a robot body?
I don't know, but does it take over and you can't control it no more? I don't know. It's scary. You are the one who made me scared of it in the first place, because you were talking about they could hack into your brain. And I don't want them to hack into my brain.
But if they could put my brain on a robot body, that's a little different.
I mean, yeah, they probably will be able to. I mean, they're already starting human trials for growing new teeth, and I am so excited about it.
I just want to feel the wind whip through my hair as robot legs do the actual running.
Yeah. Like, check out my robot body.
I'll just pump my arms to help, you know.
Then we could really do the robot, man.
Yeah, oh man, some $10 million man stuff going on there.
Like these tech guys, they can be working towards that. That's fine. But the thing is, a lot of them are uber rich, and they have nothing but time to sit there and pontificate about where they're going to take the world in the future. So it's definitely a lot of narcissist complex going on.
Oh,
and
of
also
course.
like that's how you especially in the tech industry, like that's how you become an innovator or whatever. You just say a bunch of outlandish things that if at least one of them or part of one of them comes true, you might end up a billionaire. Mm-hmm. But you probably said 100 other things, like we're going to be in space or on Mars by 2026.
Yeah.
And most of the things are just BS.
But they got the money to throw at stuff, and that's more than most people have. And the fact that it is narcissism, it makes it scarier to me even still, because that means that the people who are going to get the robot bodies are only going to be these elite jackoffs that are all friends, you know?
No, nobody's going to give me a robot body. That's for sure.
Right.
Matty D says, we're heading to Wally. We're all heading to Wally. We're all going to live on Mars in floating chairs while robots stay behind to clean up Earth. And that we also need a portal gun to bring Elon Musk over from another... Wait. And need a portal gun? I'm a little confused by that one, but...
You bring over Elon Tusk, so we'll get a better version of Elon.
We got the broken one, because we're clearly in the worst timeline.
Yeah. We're in the Mirrorverse from Star Trek, just to go back to that, you know. We got evil. We got the evil Elon Musk, because we're in the Badlands.
All right, we switched out our Elon for Elon Tusk. Good news. He's way better. He's smarter, and he's not a complete narcissist. Bad news. He's part manatee.
Yeah. He has actual tusks.
He looks a little weird. Don't stare him in the eyes too long.
And don't have any fish around him either.
Right.
Don't talk about the Kevin Smith Tusk movie either. He doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they can't integrate us with robots before I get to have some cute little robot servants. Or they don't have to be servants. I want them to be my friends, but they're still gonna do stuff for me. But I want them.
Friends with benefits, you might say?
Yeah.
I want robots, sir. Oh.
Oh, that's a
If you
different
really
kind
want,
of robot.
If you really want, you could probably buy one of those right now, actually. So it's going to be
my.
expensive, though. You're going to have to go to the Japanese market. They got that robot for you.
That really was amazing.
Yeah. No, that was good. Yeah. I feel like the first two are more plausible because in the billionaires working towards their goal is only hastening the other two more plausible extinction scenarios, or
That's
the other,
true.
I guess, the one plausible extinction scenarios. Whereas but in a way, that's their fault for channeling all this money over here as opposed to over here. They could be solving things instead of just like
Right.
narcissistically focused on their own thing.
Well,
Well,
they know they can help end the world.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier.
Yeah.
I think in the first group, or the first two that have been around, the AI scenario isn't necessarily robots. It's that in the computer, or in, digitally, AI would just like order our extinction, like, like shoot off all the missiles or something, not take over
Right.
us.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
they want to maintain after,
I
they have
can't
to have
do
robots.
that, Dave.
Like, you have to do physical things to keep power and stuff running indefinitely, so they'd have to have robots to make things. But
Well, we don't know. If they're AI, they'll be super smart and they can figure stuff out that we can't.
And
It's
if
gonna be
it's
like-
the Matrix, they'll just put us all into little pods, and we'll be like human
You're the batteries.
and we'll just be like overheating the whole world, and there won't really be an ozone layer anyways. So
They
there
could
you
just
go.
make it. They'll just make a Dyson sphere and eat the sun.
I was going to say it's going to just be like Her. Speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, it's going to be like the movie Her, and they're just going to like... The AI is just going to like evolve beyond physical, so they're just like glowing intelligences, and they're all going to fly off and leave us behind, and we're going to be like, oh, we're lonely without our slaves. I mean, friends. Servants is
Man.
what you said. Servants.
Man, the future is stupid.
Yeah, I want to turn
it
into
is.
a glowing orb of gas. Jeez,
This is
that actually
dumb.
reminds me. That reminds me of Transmetropolitan. Yeah. Didn't they have a
That,
thing
that
like that?
universe was not cool either. I mean, it was
Some
cool,
of it was
but
cool, man.
it was cool, but I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
I think, being alive now, and this is probably true for most people who live during a period where technology is constantly, like, actually moving forward. But thinking back to, like, 90s me, and then, like, what 90s me would think of some of the tech... Because I'll be here and I'll be like, hey, Google device. I don't want to say it because I'm going to trigger mine or everybody's Google devices. Turn on the TV. Why don't you turn on the TV? I'll be arguing with this thing, and I'll be like, man, this is both really fascinating and super advanced, weird technology that I would blow my mind if it was 90s me witnessing this. But at the same time, it's all so stupid and frustrating, and the world is in such a dumb place.
Right.
And people are like, just mentally, like, just general people are just seems like dumber than ever. Yet, it's so, the future is dumb.
Well, when I ask my phone just to set an alarm and it just won't get it, like, that's frustrating. But it's like, so do it yourself, dummy. Like,
Yeah,
like,
or it's
push the buttons.
it's like when someone sets all the lights up in the house to the thing home, and then I just go in the bedroom in the dark because I don't want to mess with it.
It's cool. It was cool for a time. When I could just get up and walk from the room and be like, living room, and it would just switch to the living room.
It was cool when you would be like, it's sexy time, and all the lights would dim and the music would turn on, and it was like,
Yeah.
that was fun.
The future can be sexy.
Yep.
Well, you just got to be inventive. Otherwise, it just seems dumb.
This really
I like-
did become Grawlix Nights.
I like squandering our advanced technology. That one of my favorite things to generate with AI image generators now are what's the word? Collages. So it's like old vintage crappy paper cutouts, and I'm like, it fascinates me to use this crazy AI technology to make paper craft cutout looking collages. It's like the most asinine thing, and I love doing it. Am I the only one that sets the lights to illuminate like in Demolition Man? Whoa, not anymore. I'm going to do that too. That's cool. Where's our 3 seashells? I was promised 3 seashells.
That's right.
And hopefully an instruction manual.
We have half of it already. We just need the blow dryer.
You're right. Get your bum sprayed. Yeah, but that's not like in other countries. They're like future technology, duvet.
Right.
Is that the
Not
word?
duvet, bidet.
Bidet. See, freaking French. It's the French every time. I can't do it. What's a duvet?
Speaking of the French, what do you got going on tomorrow?
Thank you, Jesse. Get us out of this.
Yeah. Got anything going on?
A duvet goes on your bed. I mean, I hooked up the bidet wrong, and that goes on the bed too. What's going on?
Oh no!
Tomorrow, hey kid, you like extreme metal?
Do you like crawling up to the edge of the abyss? Do ya? You like peer into it?
Tomorrow, I'll be doing another episode of Edge of the Abyss. So if you like death metal, technical death metal, black metal, I actually got a big block of black metal I'm going to play tomorrow. Black metal, thrash,
wrought iron,
just all the metals. Nickel. No nickel.
Nickel. I want my nickel back.
There will be none of that. That's before and after the show.
Yeah,
that's when the auto DJ's playing. You'll hear some Nickelback maybe. If you go to rockradio.live, you can check out Edge of the Abyss. It's a extreme metal show I do. Mostly metal, not a lot of talking. And you can check that out on Helix Rock Radio. I do that every Friday. You can also listen to replays of the previous episodes at abyss.show. So that's what I got going on. Yeah, that's what I got going on tomorrow. That's the main thing. How about you, Jess? You got anything exciting coming up?
I've got a show coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'll try to be an artist, and I'll try to sell art.
Woo.
I'll try.
Yeah, go support. Go support human art.
Oh boy, let's jump down that rabbit hole.
I'm not going to. Jesse's gonna sell his art, and I'm gonna steal it and feed it to my machines.
Oh god. Oh god.
No, I know. I shouldn't even put that out in the ether. I'm so tired of that discussion. Yeah. Anyway, Maddie D has the right idea. Yeah, art.
Mm-hmm.
And metal.
Mm-hmm.
And metal. Aluminum. What would aluminum metal sound like? It sounds pretty thin, I bet. Yeah. Anyway, Melanie, you got anything exciting you want to mention?
No, because I don't want people to steal my ideas.
Okay, cool. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hey, if you want, you can stream just like we are, only better. You could probably have better content than we do. Who knows? Go to StreamYard.com, and you can try it for free. We've been using StreamYard for years. This is kind of a promo segment, so, like StreamYard sponsored segment, just full disclosure. But you could do stream to multiple destinations like we are now. You can have guests on, co-hosts on. You can do webinars. You can record. You get local record separate audio recordings and video recordings for each of us. That's very important. And StreamYard.com.
One of the episodes we edited recently, they were saying it works well with recording equipment also, unlike some others that I won't mention the names of.
Right.
Right.
Man, Matty D's so supportive. He's like, metal, aluminum, yeah, art, yeah, promo, yeah, StreamYard.
Yeah.
Matty D knows.
Recording equipment. Yeah.
Whoa, recording equipment. Woo.
I don't even know if that's how he's saying it, but I just feel like I gotta throw up the horns.
Oh, he definitely is. He's
Oh,
throwing
yeah.
the horns the whole line.
Hey, since we got him on here, we should probably pimp his show.
Yeah, Grawlix. Yeah, middle-aged
man.
movie reviews.
Right. You've been
Yeah,
on
you
there.
I've
I'm
been
going to be on there.
Oh, what? You're gonna be on there?
I'm going to be on there. It's going to be a
Oh,
while. It's going to be a while. My schedule is done.
Right.
But it's coming.
Horns all day, Matty D says.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for a Jesse episode on there. Yeah, I've been on there twice. The middle-aged movie reviews. You can go to electronicmediacollective.com and check them out there. And then you can also I've got links to like where you can find them elsewhere on there as well, of course. But yeah, fun show. I'd say it's hip and irreverent.
Oh my.
But I was on there. We discussed first it was Run Lola Run, and then we discussed The Shining. That
was a good one. I listened to that one.
Yeah.
I was gonna write an email in too. So Matty D, if I forget to write the email, here it is. I wondered what you guys thought about them including so much of The Shining in Ready Player One, because for me it was like, oh wow, none of that was in Ready Player One, but it was a great addition. So there's the email I never wrote. But you guys had a great discussion about that movie. It was great.
We need to start writing them emails on the regular because
We do.
Matty D was like our most regular emailer for Grawlix when we were doing Grawlix letters page.
I remember.
Okay. GrawlixPodcast.com if you want to hear more. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Chicago Faucet. Thank you, Matty D, for tuning in live and chatting us up. Oh, by the way, Matty D says we got free digital codes to give out. Yeah, if you go listen to middle-aged movie reviews and send them emails, they send out free codes for digital copies of usually movies they're discussing or movies tangentially related. Depends what codes they have, of course. But yeah, get yourself a little something in addition to being entertained. Mm-hmm. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, bribery.
All right, bye everybody.